Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I'm Mike Mayo, joined by Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. We're all in our respective man caves. Hopefully, we have the internet up and humming. And gentlemen, how are you today? I am just in a great mood. I had a brisk walk in the beautiful, crisp day, and I am just, I was spouting poetry too, right, Defo?
Yeah, you came off. You were channeling your inner Robert Louis Stevenson, and talking about paths and roads and all of this stuff. And I thought it was great. It's good that you're out there, taking a walk. I actually did something. I hope this gesture isn't received in the wrong light or perspective, but I sent a case of Sutter Home White Zinfandel.
Oh, White Zin. Ugh. Ooh.
Well, I mean, there's a reason before. There's a rationale behind it. I was trying to find the worst possible wine that I could get my hands on, and I sent a case to Joe Casal and Harvey Fialkov. So they should be sucking down some nice, crisp, well put together White Zin from Sutter Home after they're whining about the Yankees loss.
I see what you did there. Yeah. You're going after the whiny Yankee fans. And,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
They deserve the worst tasting, most foul, almost, the undrinkable stuff that they could find to swill down all of this mining they're doing.
Talking about drinkable stuff.
Two good guys,
stuff,
too.
Look at what I got here, Lubie.
Oh, you're obsessed.
I don't know if you saw my trilogy that I posted on the Let's Eat group this morning. Here we go. Oh, I love the fresh can.
Is the rest of your life going to be relegated to trying to get the best price per ounce on seltzer water? Just because of this one $5 cone job that happened at the Hard Rock when you were eating a $20 bowl of soup?
I've got lots of ground to cover today. And yes, the answer to your question is yes, because not only did I I got to slow down.
Scott says Inglenook would have been better than the Sutter Home. The Sutter Home is almost legit compared to Inglenook, and he might be right about that.
And first of all, I also have to kind of the White Zinfandel is to real
Got to
Zinfandel.
Be the worst. Yeah.
No, and it's given regular Zinfandel a bad name. Regular Zinfandel is a great grape. It's a great wine. It's one of the first early planted vines in both Napa and Sonoma, brought over by Italian families. And red Zinfandel is just a beautiful, robust thing that you end up drinking it with barbecue. It goes really well with barbecued and grilled meats. But white Zinfandel is just the utter swill of the wine scene, and anybody who orders it, yes, I will mock them, and yes, you can call me an elitist because that stuff is just terrible, but it's perfect for Yankee fans these days.
Well, it's funny you say that because my father-in-law and we ended up drinking some Zinfandel when we were overseas, but like one time pulls out Zinfandel, and I remember my parents around because we didn't drink growing up. My parents don't drink. The only time we drank is Jewish holidays, so on the Jewish holidays they pull out some white Zinfandel. So I grew up thinking white Zinfandel was horrible wine.
You thought it was real wine.
That was bad. But when they pulled out real Zinfandel, I was like, oh, this is that garbage my parents drink. And I'm like, and Shirley's like, oh, this is great wine. So I'm like, oh, I guess Zinfandel is different than white Zinfandel. And of course, I know now it's clearly different and it's a good wine compared to white Zinfandel.
Yes.
Well, I hope Casal and Harvey like the White Zin. That's what they're getting them delivered to their house.
In a taste test,
a symbol for all Yankee fans to just keep quiet already. Let game 2 be played.
In a taste test of sommeliers, actually Manischewitz scored higher than White Zinfandel.
What was the worst flavor of Manischewitz? Cherry, grape,
root beer.
Did they have a peach? I don't know that they had a peach.
A root beer Manischewitz.
I drank a lot of grape Manischewitz in my youth. A lot of grape Manischewitz.
I did a lot of those, underage when we were at the Seders, and we had to drink 4 of them, and they would let me slip in a little sip here and there, but I love the spritzers where you get a little Manischewitz.
Of course. And the
And this
club
was the
soda.
original. It's kind of the original wine cooler. Is the like Manischewitz? You get sweet wine and you mix it with seltzer.
I would
Trend.
actually, at this point, nothing against the company. I'm sure they're very, noble in the, sincere in their gestures to try and make a great wine. But I would rather drink Aquavelva strained through white bread than even a drop of Manischewitz at this stage of my life. And
So
there was a time that you thought it was good. I mean, that's the funny thing about acquiring. Maybe that's what it's talking about. The people are talking about an acquired taste for wine. Because you would have no taste for wine if you lived on Manischewitz your entire lifetime, and that was the only wine you drank.
yeah, talking about drinking Aquavelva, it triggered a food memory of my honeymoon
You've done
in
that? Because
France.
we used to do it in the dormitories when we ran out of booze.
No, I didn't intentionally do that, but I once had a encounter at a restaurant that me and Michelle went through different parts of France, and we were in near Provence. We went to a restaurant in the town of Orange, and this was in early spring, and it was basically asparagus season had started. And in France, you have the white asparagus, you have the green asparagus, all kinds of asparagus. I happen to love asparagus because I love what it does to my bodily functions. I'm weird like that. But
Yeah. Were you a rhubarb fan also? I mean, it sounds like it's in the
not
category.
a
No?
rhubarb guy. Yeah,
All
might
right.
be. But anyway, this one restaurant in Orange, France had a special tasting menu that they were offering where it was like 6 courses, everything featuring asparagus. And the dessert was asparagus sherbet. And I tell you, Defo, it tasted exactly like Aquavelva.
Isn't that overdoing it when all of the meal consists of asparagus and it's like a 6-course meal? I mean, after 2 courses of asparagus, have you not had enough? I would think. So,
Um,
was it a popular place?
and
That
it was
that
4
had to be
days
a
of
tourist trap. No, I mean, come
it,
on,
it
who's
was a
going there
little
if they live there? Nobody.
little touristy, but
Yeah.
yeah, and it was 4 days of stinky pee, so that too. So that's
Oh my God.
oh man. All right,
You
we're
have
there.
had some Anthony Bourdain type adventures. I do respect that about you. And you're willing to take that path, just like you were talking about this morning with your very esoteric presentation about the walk of
Well, it
life.
was nice this morning on Hollywood Beach. It was just cool and crisp. And actually, I started on Dania Beach. Dania
Yeah.
Pier is where I park because I get the
Did
annual
you think
beach
about jumping
parking pass.
after your last weekend at the
No,
horses? No.
no. I'm doing well. The poker with the high
All right.
hands. I'm holding my own gambling. I'm treading water. I'm waiting
Okay.
for the big score, like all my buddies have had in the
Yeah.
last year. All of them had 5 and 6-figure scores at the poker tables, and I'm just saying, when is it my turn? And it's gonna come. I gotta have
Your
that
time is
positive
coming.
attitude.
I
And
see you rounding into it. We can feel it coming, Mike Mayo.
yeah,
You're
I got
coming
good
around.
vibes. And
Yeah.
we actually also got the Breeders' Cup coming up, and Joey, our friend from Cafe Seville, he's going up to Keeneland for the
Oh,
Breeders' Cup.
beautiful. Wow.
He's jacked up. I gotta give him a call. Did talk to another horse racing fan today, our friend Pat Utter over at Shenanigans, and he has it on the calendar. I might meet him down at Gulfstream Park for the big festivities, and talking about doing a remote show at Shenanigans East Side possibly next Thursday. So we're
Oh,
gonna
sweet.
square away the schedules. We need to get back out there. And again, today's a Shenanigans Thursday here. I got to sing their praises because not only do they have all the big sporting events, and they're going to have the Thursday night football package with Amazon tonight. I don't know who's playing. Again, you don't even need to know who's playing. Just go in there because you get all the good food and
You got
drinks.
Zona and the Saints tonight.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a
that's
tough
a
night
Joe
for
Cassell
Joe
thing.
Cassell. Yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
Saints going. He has the Yankees going. And there was one other team that he has a big rooting interest in that was also playing tonight.
The
So,
Rangers,
the Rangers.
New
He
York
loves the
Rangers,
Rangers.
the
Yes.
blue shirts, yeah, Broadway Blues, and
He's all over the place in what he roots for, is he not? Well, I guess Yankees, Rangers
no,
makes
he
sense.
grew up
but-
in New York,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so he
okay.
likes the Yankees and the
Spent time in
Rangers,
New
and then
Orleans.
New Orleans is his adopted town because he loves going there for everything, for eating and music and all
Sure.
that. And I invited him out tomorrow. We're doing our remote show, everybody. It's kind of a preview of the new Pepe's Pizzeria in Plantation, Triple P, we'll call it, and it's going to be a show that there will be some people in there. They're breaking in the ovens. They're doing friends and family service. And again, I don't know if that's all the spots are taken, but I wanted to tell people, go on to opentable.com. do a search for Pepe's and Plantation, and if you can get a slot in there tomorrow, and either in the afternoon or evening, you're going to get yourselves a complimentary meal with some pizza, salad, and soft drinks and dessert, because that's what they're doing. They're kind of trying to make sure everything is fired up properly. So come on out. We want to see a nice full crowd out there for tomorrow's taping of the Lunchbox.
It'll be like being in the audience at Hell's Kitchen, right? Because you
I'm
always
gonna
wonder
start
who are
throwing
these people
things.
that are eating as this chicken is flying through the
Yeah.
dining room there, and you
I'm
got
gonna
a
be a
chef cursing that nobody knows how to cook. I don't
I'm
think it'll be like that, but
yeah, I'm going to
sounds
be a
similar.
very, very, very friendly critic tomorrow. I'm
I
going
would
to be
imagine.
just passing along the positive notes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying a Pepe's Pizza down here in South Florida. Believe it or not, I've been to New Haven and I've tried a lot of New Haven pizza, but I never went to Pepe's. I've been to Sally's, which is the one across the street. I've been to Modern Pizza, which is kind of the next generation that was founded by one of the, I guess, somebody that worked at Pepe's for a while. But I've never been to Pepe's, so we'll see what this is all about. I have also been to Pizza Spot a lot, and we love Wade and Reese, and they have their New Haven style of pizza, and great sponsors. But Shenanigans is what I was talking about. Is I wanted to give them some high praise, because lately they've been just absolutely knocking it out of the park. Every time I've been in there for some football games, I went with my daughter last week for just a dinner. She got a burger. The burger was great. I had the fish sandwich. The fish sandwich was great. My brother said they stopped in there and picked up some burgers for Monday Night Football. He said the burger came out perfectly cooked, like red and juicy on the inside, and got that good char on the outside. So the kitchen at Shenanigans East Side is going full blast. They're doing a good job there, and yeah, I love that they're on board with us. We're on board with them. Everybody's happy. Go get yourself some great black and grilled wings, or the barbecue, the late night food, all that stuff going on at Shenanigans, the East Side location, Dania Beach, 1300 South Federal Highway. Original location, 30th year anniversary celebration ongoing there east on the original one across from TY Park. That's the one that's very fond in the Defo family's hearts, right?
Well, that's when I was beating my son at sports. I guess 30 years ago, he was 10, and we used to go to TY Park there and play basketball. The courts weren't all that great, but we played a little one-on-one, and I would spot him like 6 and, usually grind out like an 11-9 victory, allowing him, free access to the basket. And now the reverse is happening, because we have another tennis bloodbath scheduled for tonight after a rain out last night, and I'm hard pressed to win a few games. And this was my game. He wasn't even a tennis player, so role reversal. But I'd love to go to Shenanigans after, because that was one of my favorite things about the whole basketball episode, was heading over to the original Shenanigans, and they had plenty of stuff on the menu for Jesse's satisfaction. He was kind of a picky eater at the time, and a lot of good stuff for me. And I remember classic margaritas there also. They were well known for their margaritas at Shenanigans back in the day.
We've got a frozen and now disappearing
I think we're still on, though,
Lubie.
Mike. So we may
Yeah,
as well
no,
just
I saw
continue,
this yesterday
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
where that he drops off. He's the host of the
He's housing everything, and he's got the worst internet connection. I mean, he's got his finger in a socket somewhere, and some computer that was purchased, when they first came out, and this is how we're conducting network television, Mike Mayo. But we did learn, as I was babbling away the other day, not knowing if I was even, if anybody was listening. And there's nothing worse. This would happen in the radio, where you had lost contact with the station, so you didn't know whether to keep going or not. And then finally, you'd realize, I'm talking to the freaking wind here. But we did discover yesterday, when this happened, that we're still on. So that's good. And you and I can carry on.
I think we're still on, because we'll just keep carrying on
Yeah.
until Lubie texts us otherwise. And
No,
I
he
want to
punches back in. It takes a few minutes.
Okay, because I'm looking at one of the streams going on the Let's Eat page, but we'll just keep it going, because it looks like it might be frozen there. But that's okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about. I posted this Publix trilogy. I don't know if you saw.
I saw your
the kind
logo.
of-
I'm over the seltzer obsession.
Well,
I
no,
don't care. I don't
is
care
that
if
the
you ever
one?
buy another can of seltzer, as long as you live. I love you, Mike, but the seltzer thing, just go get the seltzer. All right, that's great.
That was the third one. I was just trying.
What was
to
the
put
other one?
kind of a-
Cheerios you were buying, or something?
Yeah, well, the problem not the problem. I just was kind of shocked, because they had a BOGO for Cheerios, and it was the family size box, a little bit
Yeah.
bigger than your standard, I guess 14 ounce, or now they've shrunk that one down to 12 ounces. Now they got this 18-ounce one. but it was like $7.37, and I did a double take. I was like, "Whoa, when did I move to
Cereal has
Hawaii?"
really spiked. Yeah, it really has
I
over the
remember the
years.
first and only time I was in Maui, Hawaii, which was back in like 1994.
Yeah.
But it was it just I was shocked because a box of cereal in Hawaii at that time was about $7, and it was explained to me that's because the, the 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 cereal can't swim, and
Yeah.
the shipping charges to get stuff, groceries, dry goods over from the mainland is exorbitant. So back then, I can imagine what a box of cereal in Hawaii costs now. It must be about like $20 a box, and I just like, when did cereal become a delicacy? It's crazy.
It's nuts, man. What was your favorite? I mean, as a kid, I was thinking as you were talking that I did like sugar pops a little bit, but only in the little box. And remember when they had a little box that you would punch a little
Yeah,
perforated thing and then pour the milk into the little box, and that's how you ate your cereal back then. And those little packages, they came in like 10 in a variety
yeah,
pack.
it was the variety pack, and that's
That
what a
was
kid
great. Yeah.
needed. Yeah, and I think, my dad, who was a
Frosted
dentist, I think
Flakes were great, and Raisin Bran. I loved all of that.
my dad was a dentist and his father was a dentist, and I think they
So he
secretly
encouraged the
loved
purchase of
they
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was, good for business. Like, give those boxes of variety packs out to all the patients, and along with the Halloween candy, which, by the way, I've got, I wanted to talk about that. It's like,
That's
this is
gotten
the danger.
expensive too, has it not? Halloween
Yeah, but
candy?
I did the shopping for all the Halloween candy this
Yeah,
past weekend at my nearest wholesale club, and you get these huge giant bags, and they had
right.
coupons on it, and it's already low prices. So, we got out of there for, I'd say it'd be about like $35 for all the candy we're gonna
Do
need
that many kids show up
to
at your
give.
door?
My neighborhood is a lively, it's
Oh,
not a
okay.
gated community, and we get a lot of kids that come from all around the beach, and they come like out at night. It's big groups that are trailed by their parents in cars, and I like that. I like that whole Halloween scene. What I don't like is when I do my, when I'm not a procrastinator and I buy my Halloween candy in advance. And like, I was with my daughter, and she says, "Dad, let's just open the M&Ms bag." We got like three big bags of different ones.
Oh, you
One
did?
has
Yeah.
and we got one that has like the Hershey's bars and the Reese's peanut butter cups. One of them has all the Twix and the Milky Way and all that stuff. And then one is just exclusively the variety pack of M&Ms. Talk about a dentist's dream here. So she opens it up, and we have one, and now it's like, this is what I can't resist, is when you buy it in advance and it's just sitting there, and I
Oh,
know it is
you're going to be eating a
open,
few, no
and I
question.
took my walk of life, and I just needed my little sugar rush to go along with my seltzer.
Start drinking M&Ms. Great.
So here I've got this one is the peanut butter M&M, so it's kind of like a combination of M&M
Oh,
with
that's a
Reese's
weird
cup.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got all the little. There we
No,
go. There's
I
my
was a
little
standard
thing.
M&M guy. I like peanut M&Ms. That would have been my preference. And there was a time you could eat like a giant bag of peanut M&Ms, and even if you felt a little bit of guilt about it, still it wasn't stopping you from finishing the bag. Now that is relatively small. What was I mean? Did you ever get candy
Yep.
apples from somebody when you were trick or treating? Back in the day, that was not uncommon when I was living in Brooklyn, and even to a lesser extent on Long Island. You would find out that somebody was giving away candied apples, with the red kind of gel on the outside, hardened up, and
Yeah, no, they would
and
they
and,
would
and you would run there to get a couple. I mean, that was like a favorite thing to go and seek out as a candy hunter on Halloween. But you could never do that today, right? I mean, if you had anything that wasn't sealed or wrapped very tightly and securely, you would be very reluctant to have your kid go and sample some of that stuff with the way people are today.
You see Mr. and Mrs. Peanut M&M here, and I do love the peanut M&Ms because it
Yeah.
has protein in addition to the sugar.
Oh, get out
Yeah,
of here!
the can and you know what? The
Why
peanut
don't you get a
M&Ms,
tofu M&M if you're looking for protein? I mean,
Mapu tofu M&M. That could be the
M&Ms. Yeah.
next variety. Get Sarnie on it. He
All
loves
right,
all
don't get
the
hooked on
different
this
varieties.
candy because you're going to
No,
ruin the
no.
effect and the impact of your wonderful walk that you had, where you had these epiphanies about life and how much happy you are, and you do seem better, than you were maybe a couple of weeks ago when you were talking about colonoscopies, medical issues, and how upset you were with the price of seltzer.
That's all in
So
my rearview
yeah,
mirror.
yeah,
Full
yeah,
steam
move forward.
ahead.
Sure.
And no, but to get to the candy apples, but then remember the big urban, I don't know if it's an urban myth or what, about That somebody put the razor blades in the middle of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
candy
I was, probably real. I mean, but you could work your way around a razor blade if you knew it was in there. It was just a mysterious, hidden, razor blade that and you had to eat that, candy apple even as a kid growing up in Brooklyn. I remember as an 8-year-old with a certain amount of suspicion
Oh
that
yeah.
you didn't want to you didn't want to go too crazy taking that first big bite. But the best part was when the outer coating cracked a little bit, and now you could start picking it apart, and
I
it was
love
just a
candied
delicacy. Yeah.
apples. I don't necessarily love getting them from strangers. And you're right. Nowadays, the guidance is everything has to be individually wrapped. You don't want to be accepting any, fresh baked cookies or brownies from somebody because
No.
these days it could be, here's your favorite word again, it could be laced with all kinds of
Oh,
unknown.
it's
Uh,
disgusting thinking about what's going on. I mean, there's always some horror story, which is, yeah. I mean, you're talking about little kids
yeah,
there.
yeah, no,
But
that's really
I don't
sick.
know how
If
it's going to
somebody
go
would,
this Halloween. We have some candy, but this is the first time we're in this particular place. See a couple of kids around the complex here, but not too many.
let's see, I'm going to put the over under on the number of trick or treaters coming to your door because I've seen the layout. I'm going
Yeah.
to put it at 2 and a hook. You're going to get one.
Yeah, that's a good number. I might take a shot on the over on that because like one person could bring two kids, and then if somebody else shows up, you hit an over and you cash the bet. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be heavy traffic with little kids in costumes coming by the Defo household here this
No,
Halloween.
I have
I
to
try
get
not to be home too. I really do. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm
yeah,
too much of an old fart for that.
my neighborhood reminds me of the old Brooklyn neighborhood. It's like sidewalks and different
What
families
about
and
the honor
everybody.
system? Did you ever try leaving candy out there in the
Yes,
honor system with a sign that said, "Hey, I'm not home," but well, you
yes,
don't want to tell people you're not home, but
no,
just
no.
take one because I'm not coming to the door 1,000 times. I'm watching a ball game or something. Honor
And
system.
nowadays, with all these like surveillance cameras, the ring cameras, you could actually like go out and bust somebody and
Oh
say,
yeah,
"Take
yeah,
one." And
that's
if you
right.
see somebody take the whole thing, go out there and say, "Hey, kid,
Open
come
fire.
on!"
Yeah.
Open fire. I would
No,
just
I mean
shame them.
that's the way it is today. It's terrible, right? You're setting
That
a
is
trap for
terrible.
some dishonest little 9-year-old.
No, but to answer your question, I have done that in the past when I had to run out in the evening to play a poker tournament or something, and I have maybe I put out a big bowl. I put out a sign saying just take one or take two pieces at most, leave some for the other people. Of course, I'd come home and everything would be gone, and you don't
Yeah.
know whether it is just all one fell swoop
Loose
or if
chicken corn was always a bad
oh
item,
god,
where
that
and
yellow
I
corn.
just saw I was watching TV the other morning, some morning news show, like in the middle of the night on ABC, and they had a list of the 10 worst candies to give out on Halloween.
That
And
yellow corn.
well, the yellow corn, naturally, everybody kind of takes a disparaging approach to that. But it was okay if it was in little bags, I guess. But when people just used to scoop out a handful, they would all stick together and melt together. Which wasn't really a good thing. But didn't you like the candied bananas? They were trashed as like among the worst of candies. They
That I've
called them
never
something
seen.
else. The candy
Uh,
banana.
I don't know, but all I know is that among the wrapped candies that are
Yeah.
still like legitimately given out, I would have to say Butterfinger is the all-time worst for you.
Oh, really?
It's
I like a Butterfinger here
You
and
like
there.
a Butterfinger?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I kind of like it, but it's just made of nothing natural. It just gets stuck up in your teeth. It's like
But you're
instant
not looking
cavity.
for a health food, experience when you're
No,
eating
but
candy to begin with. I mean, come on, Mike. You know what? Our principle for buying candy back when I was growing up was you wanted to get the most amount of candy for your money. So, like, even though a chunky was great, it was kind of small in terms of volume compared to, say, a Hershey almond bar or something like that. And that was really the priority: was seeking to get the highest possible value in terms of amount of product for your money. And candies were prioritized along those lines. And then if you were going to the movies, you wanted the hardest candy that was made. So the Jujube and what was the other one? They
I
had
like the snow caps. I like the
those were
non-parallel
good. Yeah, those were good.
the
You could
snow
drink a whole
caps are
box
my
of those in
favorite.
a movie theater and
Yeah.
not be dissatisfied in any way. That's for
You
sure.
said drink it, and that's the way I used to do it. I opened
Oh
the
yeah,
box and
drink
that's
it.
how you
Good
like
and
lift it up.
plenty's. Good and
Yeah, yeah,
plenty's. Just
yeah.
drink the whole box. That was great.
So, hey, it's like the old days, Defo, when me and you first started the Lunchbox
Yeah.
almost a year ago, where it's just me and you, and Lubie
Well,
has
I don't
fallen
know.
off the
Lumi,
face of the
he
earth.
really disappeared on us, and it's starting to,
I
get
kind
a
of
little.
miss that little squeaky voice. It's it's the glue that binds us together. But we're gonna just keep going. He says he's lost his internet. He's
Okay.
working on getting it back, but we're basically on our own until then because we
No,
can't
that's
run
good.
any
Yeah, we can't
spots.
do much,
So I might
but
have to do a all live spot day today, which is
yeah.
that's not a terrible
Are,
thing.
are
You
are
got
we?
all the
I wanted to. I think you gave the thumbs up to this, but I want to get back to Wicked Cheesesteaks also because
yeah.
they've been
I
drawing
got
rave reviews again. I mean, I always enjoy seeing it about any restaurant. I like when people are overwhelmingly favorable about it. Which is nice to see because we get caught up, like you say, in the fetching and the complaints and all of this minutia, which is all legitimate. I mean, it's all part of the scene there in the restaurant scene. But I'm especially happy when I see a restaurant drawing high praise from the vast majority of people, and then when it's one of our sponsors. It really is touching, when you see the people just getting behind Tropical Acres or Shenanigans. I don't know that anybody had ever. I've never seen a negative comment about Shenanigans ever of any type. So they're very well
no,
respected.
in the sports bar
Yeah.
milieu, it really excels because Pat takes care. People. He has good people. He retains them, and he cares about the food and the quality of the
Yeah.
product. So that's what we
Wicked
and
cheesesteaks,
Wicked
though. Can't
Cheesesteaks. You
wait to
could
return. Yeah, I can't wait to get back there.
and
We're
we're
going to do that
working
next
on
week,
that.
right?
We're gonna hopefully be all like next week. We're gonna be doing a whole onslaught of remote shows, and to go along with tomorrow from Pepe Plantation. Next week, hoping to get out to Grandpa's. We're hoping to get out to
Yeah.
Shenanigans. Hoping to get out to Wicked Cheesesteaks, and we're hoping to do another Visit Lauderdale show next week. Maybe coming to you live from the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, which starts
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
Wow.
We want to get out there for one of the preview days because the whole food scene there, they kind of set up this whole luxury tents and things because of all these, people are coming in to check out all the big boats and people from all over the country and world, really, and not just the yacht crowd and the mega yacht crowd, but for people who are looking for just it's a big tourist draw. So I know they take great care in the type of food that they put out, and so we might do a little food scene preview at the boat show next week. We're working on that. We got a lot of things we're working on, and now we see Sarney had a good line. He said Lubie was a ghost for Halloween, and now he's back.
Look at the look on his face. He looks like a guy that is
And now he's the Messiah, the second
presiding
coming of
over a blown
Lubie. It's
remote
great.
here. What's going on, Libby? You
He's
okay?
shaking his head. He
I'm
doesn't
here.
look happy.
You look frozen. Supposedly they're updating and upgrading the internet in the area, so that's why the internet has to suck. I don't understand why
Okay.
upgrading has to mean the
People-
internet sucks.
I'm
Could've
getting
just left it
reports
alone.
from our spies that we're okay, that people can hear us and see us. And
all that matters.
okay. All right,
don't
we're
lose
good.
for it.
That's all right. Well, just the show must go on, Lubie. And now that you're back, I do want to I want to get into some news because you know me, I'm a journalist at heart. I love my scoops. You don't call me Scoop Skolnick, but
Scoop Skolnick was a perfect name. At first, you know what? He was kind of adverse to it. I think he thought we were, goofing on him, but he really was a guy that was coming up with scoops.
better than calling him Juice or Juicy Juice because he's
he's got that
descendant of
connection
the
there.
Juicy Juice family.
Yeah,
yes.
so he was never really worried about capital, which is, a great relief to anybody in the journalism field, as you know, Mike Mayo, and probably, well, you had a pretty steady employment there at the Sun Sentinel of
Yeah, it was good
increasing,
while it lasted.
cost of living increases every year. But, in the radio business, we were on our own. I mean, it's really catch as catch can. You hope to catch a good gig. Hope that you get so overpaid in one gig that it'll compensate for the year you're out of work. When they summarily dismiss you for no reason whatsoever. But, he always was coming up with scoops. But when we first started calling him Scoop Skolnick, I think he kind of, was taken a little back by that. But I think he embraces it now, Ethan Scoop Skolnick.
Nice. Well,
What kind of a foodie was he when he was on the road? Did you ever travel with Scoop?
I didn't really travel much with him, and I don't recall him being that big of a food guy, but
Yeah.
you know what? I'm totally I'm befuddled. No, I don't think I ever went out to a restaurant with Scoop. And of course, I probably went out to dinner with him 12 times, and I'm just like totally
Yeah.
forgetting because I was sloshed on wine. Ooh, Lubie's getting that little whitewash face. thing. It's
He's
kinda
blurred,
getting-
yeah. No,
It's getting
Lubie is an
getting
X factor
scary.
here. You might want to
Love
get some
it.
commercials in while we have the chance.
Well, you know
While
what?
we
Let's
still
do
have the
that.
Luber, yeah.
Let's take our first break, make it a long one if it holds up, and then we'll come back and I'll talk about the big news about Le Tub, a very polarizing place, a very
Wow,
renowned
again
place,
with the Tub.
iconic place. So I've got more details on its pending sale and what's going to be next for Le Tub.
All
After
right,
these
coming back with
words.
that in a moment if we can get Lubie not to freeze up.
Let's see. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent. Are we back, or are we doing more spots? Lubie? I guess we're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Oh man, I love flying by the speed of our pants.
He looks like one of those guys, that is giving an interview about somebody, but he doesn't want to be seen on camera, and so they, do some kind of shadowy thing.
Yeah, the
over his face.
pixelating. They call it the pixelation of the face. So.
Yeah, or he's one of the people that is being shipped, say, from Texas to Provincetown by Ron DeSantis, and they don't want to show it. Don't want to show the 12-year-old kid that's being abused, so they cover his face like that with the camera. That's great. So hopefully he'll be a full-fledged member of the program.
Yeah. I hear you.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry for the internet problems. It's really frustrating.
It's like a kung fu movie. This show at this point, where your lips are moving an hour later.
So people seem to like. Defo said it was popping the last half an hour of our morning show, and we had like super high numbers. So I guess people find the fun in the car wreck. So those of you who like, I appreciate it because I don't. I'm glad we're fighting through.
Yeah. Well, when it's non-discernible, the show seems to get much more interest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like solving a puzzle. It's like, what did they really say? Or
did Mayo say he liked that pizza? I don't know. What the hell? People, the world awaits the answer and confirmation that it's okay to go to this joint. No, that's great.
No, anyway.
All right, so what about this big news, Latub? You sort of teased this the other day, and you are fascinated by Latub. It's I would have to say, it became of iconic stature. Based on the giant publicity it got. I know you explained the history of that, and then Oprah really, took it to another level when she mentioned it as the best burger that she had ever eaten in her lifetime, and we could see that she had eaten a lot of burgers at that point.
She didn't even come in. It wasn't even her. She dispatched Gail King, her bestie, to come in and do the dirty work, and that's what basically ever since it became this touristy foodie spot that was on the map, and people would inevitably be disappointed because I remember once when right after that that aired, and people would come in all dressed up with their hairstyle and say, "Where's the air conditioned section?" And the place is just it's old Florida.
It's on the Intercoastal though. It's nice. Yeah,
it's on the Intercoastal. I love it. I call it a lovable dump, and it it was converted from a Sunoco filling station, and they just plowed under the pumps, and then they built like just out of wood and driftwood.
It's a good restaurant area though overall. There are a lot of nice places.
There's
in
a lot of
immediate
vicinity.
Sure.
So the original owner was a character named Russell Kornbluth. He passed in. Why do I say passed? I hate that expression.
He checked out. You use that.
No, he died. I'm a journalist, and now this past euphemism has become in vogue, and I even see journalists using it. I've seen it in headlines. That's one of those things that makes me crazy. He died. Okay.
It's like when you call somebody, and now the new common euphemism is I reached out to so and so.
Yes.
As if you just like stuck a long arm out and trying to grab the guy. No, you called the guy on the phone. You might have sent him a text. That's not reaching out.
I attempted to call the guy, and he said,
"You reach out to somebody who's in trouble, or somebody who really needs saving, or whatever."
Okay, a topic that you are very familiar with, as am I.
Right.
Reach
out to the degenerate, sick gambler. Yeah, take him to La Tub for a burger.
Russell, the original owner, died in 2010. He left it. This is a neat story. He left it to 4 longtime former employees slash managers, along
Very
with
cool.
his lawyer and ex-girlfriend. So it was divided into 6 shares, but the
But it ended up
majority
all in the lawyer's hands?
no. Actually, the majority stakeholders, controlling partners that got the lion's share of it was this
Yeah.
couple that were managing it for the longest time. Steve Seidel and his wife now is Robin. And the two of them are the controlling partners. The other ones all get a little piece of the action. And they, Robin and Steve was worked there since like 1977, 78. He was showing me pictures yesterday. Yesterday, Robin and Steve had a little farewell party because a sale is pending at the end of this month. They are semi-retiring. They're moving up to Ohio. The last 10 years, they've been working on this project where they've got this nice farmland and they've turned it into this very pastoral. It's going to be like a wedding venue, a kind of a
Nice.
catering venue in the
Sounds like
countryside.
Lubie's kind of scene
He
out in
was
the middle of
famous.
nowhere. Yeah.
Well, it's like kind of outside of Akron. They said outside of Akron as you go down towards Columbus. I don't know exactly where it is, but they've been working on it. But they've sold the restaurant and the controlling share of it. I don't know about the other partners if they're still going to be part of it or if they're going to get eventually bought out. But the new people taking it over, it's a local restaurant outfit that owns several other restaurants up and down that intracoastal alleyway in Hollywood, including Gigi's Waterfront, which is an upscale, nice place also on the intracoastal there. And now this Tiki restaurant and bar, which used to be Jimbo's Sandbar until this group purchased it about 2 years ago, and they totally gussied it up. And it's nice now. They don't have it used to be Jimbo's was kind of a dive bar with live music. Now Tiki is more of a touristy spot for lunches and brunches on the intracoastal. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen after this sale. The owners have communicated to Robin and Steve that they are going to keep it as Le Tub, and then not going to make any major changes. And Steve was telling me last night he really hopes that it stays as is because the character of the place. Some people, it's not for everybody, but it has a huge local following. Before Oprah came in and before GQ named it the best burger in America, it was just the quintessential low-key locals hangout kind of hidden gem. I used to spend a lot of time there in my early sports writing days. I loved it. So I hope it stays the same, but the rumor mill has it that after this season, maybe next May or June, that there might be some big renovations coming. They do need to do some work there. They need to upgrade the pile driving, like along the seawall along the intracoastal. Some things need to be redone, but we'll see what happens. And fingers crossed, because it's still a good place to catch a burger, a rum runner, a drink with the sunset right over the intracoastal.
Sounds good. I mean, you're in love with the place, so hopefully there'll be no changes to the tub. I haven't been there in a while. I do remember, everybody obviously is, curious about the burger because when some place is proclaimed by anybody, whatever level of celebrity, put it on the map as having the best burger in the world. I mean, that's a pretty lofty claim to try and measure up to. And as I recall, they did have a great burger there. That's what I remember about the place. And it was a nice scene there, and it didn't matter if it was piping hot. You're on the intercoastal area, you're watching the boats go by, and that's always a pleasant scene. And you realize that it's nice to live in paradise, and especially if you can get some real good food on the water, like we did the other day when we were on the beach there at Frankie's place, Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar.
And the thing is, it's exposed to the elements. So, if it's raining, you got to go inside this cramped little area. But, when you're out along the water there, okay, so occasionally there'll be a little bit of a, maybe a gecko and an iguana scampering by. Sometimes it might be a palmetto bug.
There was a spirit to the place, though. I think that was established by the people and the way they treated everybody. And I thought it was kind of cool. And that's what you lose sometimes when a place is taken over by, say a restaurant company or corporation that has other places, and they start to institute sort of, those kind of policies that are applicable to chains and things like that. So,
Well, it used to be
you don't want to see it lose its individualism.
its
Let's put it that
charm,
way.
and it used
Yeah.
to be my spot for first timers. I would love to end up there at the end of a night, have a couple of drinks, and then see whatever happened afterwards. But Le Tub was one of those places where people would just kind of get loosened up and feel
What
like
else would you
very
order
chill.
there besides a burger? I mean, was there anything else on the menu there?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there is, and they have the steamed spice shrimp with kind of like a peel and eat, but larger size, and they're delicious. That I would always get that, and they used to have a seafood gumbo back in the day. Now I think they got rid of the seafood gumbo. It's mainly they do a chili that's pretty good. That you I think your kind of style of chili that you would like,
Yeah.
classic. And
Not with cinnamon and just watered down with no beef whatsoever.
no,
So like a certain type of chili that you favorite. Now, if you were docking a boat along that there are many places where you can just like dock a boat there and dine, like the tub. So are there other places in that area that? And I've been to a few of them, but don't necessarily know them by name because I was usually like on some guy's boat.
there's
and they would
Billy's
stop
Stone
somewhere.
Crab.
Yeah,
Yeah, Billy's Stone
Billy's.
Crab,
People love Billy's. I mean,
which used to be Joe Sonkins, which used to be
Yeah.
a big mob joint. Now Billy's is not. It's a legit, stone crab a place that's different. The guy who founded it used to work at Joe's, and he basically now has his own fleet. Well, it's his sons that are running it because he passed. Oh no, he died, and
Everybody that you know has died. What?
we all died.
Can you bring up
Defo.
somebody that's among the living on this show?
And I'm
it's
dying a
getting
little bit.
depressing here. Yeah,
Dying a little bit.
I'm going to go
today
get a
with
bottle
the,
of Manischewitz and a yard-side candle and just sit shiver for all of these people in the restaurant industry that have checked out. Unbelievable.
No. So we got Joe. The Billy Stone Crab. We've got the Taverna Opa is on that.
Taverna Opa, was a classic. My brother loved that place. He was one of the first guys.
It's going strong.
when they
After
opened up
25 years.
loved it.
It's been there.
Absolutely
it's been there
loved it.
almost 27, 28 years.
Yeah.
And Michelle goes there with my daughter often, and they said the quality is
Plates
has
still
been
flying like
maintained.
frisbees, or they calmed that down a
still
little bit.
dance,
Yeah.
and the ouzo is being consumed, and they smashing plates, and
That's the place
and
to get the whole fish too. Like they
get a
one
whole
of these Greek
fish,
joints.
and
Yeah.
they also do the mortar and pestle the chickpeas, the hummus
Yeah.
thing. They mash it up right there at the table with a lot of garlic, and then you get the
Good
pita
spot.
bread. It's
Always
a good spot. And then
Yeah.
right above that is Gigi's Waterfront, which again, another upscale place that's owned by this group that's now buying La Tub. You got La Tub, you got Capone's Flicker Light Lounge, you got now Margaritaville is there, and they have a casual burger place. It's called It's 5 o'clock Somewhere Lounge on the Intercoastal. They've got, then you go further up in Tiki, which used to be Jimbo. So that's that whole up and down.
Good
area
little
in
strip
Mount Holly.
of
Yeah,
restaurants.
it's a nice strip. Gets very crowded in the season, but in the summertime, it's a nice place to chill out. You could get some decent meals without all the traffic and aggravation of some of the other more heavily populated areas. So
Good to know. It's one of those places you were hanging out and getting drunk after your shift at the Sunset. No, it seems like
that was
you
after a
listed
ball
about a
game.
dozen of these joints.
No, well, there was back in the day, I would be covering games.
You were a
and,
real Jimmy Breslin type of roll up your sleeves and slug down a
Yeah,
scotch, and then try to get the story right there at the bar. I like that about you, Mike Mayo. Old school. It's good.
That's it. So, hey, let's take a break. And a couple of kind words about Tropical Acres. Had another great meal there this week. Anytime I go there, I leave happy. And when I brought my daughter last week, she just turned around at the end of the meal and just said, "Dad, this place is just good."
Yeah.
And that's a 16-year-old, folks. So don't believe anybody who says, "Oh, it's only for a certain age group" or "it's not hip or trendy." People love Tropical Acres. People of all ages love the joint, and they got the great values. They still got the twin lobster special going on, $35 for two of those big, nice, freshly steamed Maine lobsters, served with salad and side dish. They've got the half price wine night Monday and Tuesday. They've got happy hour in the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. They've got the early bird special 4:30 to 5:30. They've got what do they got? The butcher shop from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day but Sunday. And last but not least, they have that loyalty punch card. When I was in there with Phil and Kate, you know what? They brought a new punch card out. They put 3 holes in it, and I gave it that Phil and Kate. I said, "You take it." They have kids. They come in there sometimes, and they said the kids.
That would be ugly if you were arguing with the company you kept about who gets the punch card. At Tropical Acres. I mean, that's as low as it gets. You did you mention a happy hour, man? Because you are happy during this hour.
Oh man, I
thinking
couldn't
that's
believe
the
it
time
the
to
other
go, huh?
night. 3 primo drinks. I mean, a Belvedere martini along with 2 Tito's cocktails, less than $20. You can't beat
That's
that
one of the
deal.
better deals that you'll find at any happy hour in a restaurant of that caliber. Also, I
Yeah,
mean, it's not like
it's
you're going going into some, a place that is attached to a convenience store. This is Tropical Acres we're talking about.
4:30 to 6:30 in the bar. You get that great deal inside the bar there. I think it's every night. Maybe they exclude Friday, Saturday. Got to go onto the tropicalacres.com website to get all the details. Tropical Acres is at 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in the airport in old Fort Lauderdale, New Dania Beach. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. You're going to be a happy, happy diner.
You can feel the vibe in there. It's always good. It's always very positive. And
Classy.
I've never had anything but great experiences there. And Jack Studiali, as we say, I mean, in the dulcet tones of Trevor Denman, you can hear as soon as he steps into the room or you run into him, you just think he's exuding class, which is what that whole experience is about. Very classy dining. And we lost Louie, but we were going to toss it to this break, which I guess we're not going to at this point, although he's coming back. So we're going to be coming back with more of the you talk about In-N-Out Burger. That's been the way that Lubie's conducted the show today, unfortunately, with his bogus internet connection. So we're coming back.
He's
More
going to
Mike
be
Mayo's
moving
Lunchbox in a moment. So he says, you know what? What if it doesn't happen right away? And we have to
for his
deal with
40th birthday, Defo.
Yeah.
We can't use the escort.
I know.
No,
I know. It'll get you. Sorry, Lunchbox crew. I will
All right.
bucks. People, I don't care where I have to go. I'll make sure.
Okay, great.
Very
And no, but maybe me and you, Defo, for his 40th birthday gift, we have to get him the gift of the internet, or at least a hotspot.
Some kind of that magic stick that makes things work.
He's not enjoying the ribbing.
No, he hates. Technical failure is not our, a thing that we really embrace because we dealt with enough of it many years in radio. So we don't like to see that happening here. But we're coming back, failure or not, with more of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo.
Got more frozen Lubie here. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, we're back. All right. We're moving right along. It's a Thursday. We're on the Lunchbox. I got my 38-cent can of seltzer. I'm happy. I don't care anything else that happens today. It's all good.
How much seltzer are you drinking, though? This has been the magic question, where your obsession over this $5 thing has cost you like $400 in additional seltzer since that purchase.
I got seltzer on the brain. It's good. It's like
well, where do you
keeps
store all
hydrated.
this stuff, though? I mean, you
I
just
have,
have like a giant garage or something?
I have a guest room that now has become like a storage facility. It's got all the things for my mom's supplies. I've got all the paper goods, and now I've got cans upon cans of seltzer. I'm ready for whatever Putin tries to pull. I'll have my seltzer stash. And the thing is, it's versatile. You could put it
There's
with
no taste to
vodka.
it. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You could pour fresh squeezed orange juice into it, and you have orange soda like orange.
Oh God,
you could
that's awful.
you could put Manischewitz wine in it, and you have a
Let me
wine
stop you here for a
spritzer.
second, because I have a favorite brand of orange juice. Now, when you're buying orange juice and you're not squeezing it yourself, but you want to approximate the closest you could come, what brand are you buying, regardless of expense? Because are you familiar with Natalie's? I mean, I think that is the best of the best.
Yes, that was
Man.
the word coming out of my mouth
Wow.
was Natalie's.
They're
For
great.
some reason, though, and it's on sale at my local Publix, but sure enough,
On
they
sale
don't
for
have
like
the regular.
$8. I mean, at this point,
No,
yeah.
$1. It comes in the little. I'm looking at the little
Oh, the
16-ounce
small ones.
pint
Yeah.
things. But they have the straight up orange juice that at mine. They have the orange with beet juice, which I hate. They have
Oh
the
no, you
carrot
don't want any of that
juice.
funky
Yeah,
stuff.
I
No.
want like their straight up Natalie's orange juice. Is
Unbelievably
like just
good.
squeezing
Yes.
and orange. There's also a brand that they have at Grandpa's Cafe, one of our sponsors. I forget the name of it. I could see it. It's also like a, in that same similar size, just like 12-ounce, 16-ounce plastic bottle, but it just like
Right.
has so much pulp. It's just like fresh squeezed. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. It literally is like heavenly. They I hate to say it, they juiced the price though over the years substantially, and it's now going for about $7.60 to almost $8 for I would say it's a quart size, but outstanding. I mean, really, if I'm going for orange juice, and I want that in my mixer, I'm not getting any cheap seltzer. If I'm going to pour a vodka, I'm pouring it in there with some Natalie's grapefruit or orange.
Yeah, you want the pulp.
Grapefruit's equally good.
It's all about the pulp.
Well, and the taste, the great taste.
Yeah. And then locally, I don't know if you've been to Bob Roth's New River Groves on Griffin, just west of the Turnpike lately.
Have not.
He's great. He's a character. He's been around a long time, and he has this fresh fruit stand. He also sells pies, and he has a little there's a sandwich shop that he sublets out to these two women from South America. They do actually some really good sandwiches, and I think they have the empanadas and things like that. But at New Rivers Grove, he sells jugs of fresh squeezed juice. It's really beautiful stuff. So that's something to consider.
I do have a talent also on a clam chowder, which I know you don't like clam chowder and you think it's goofy to even order one. If you were going to get a clam chowder, Mike Mayo, would it be Manhattan or New England style, or do you care?
Yes, and
I like both. I actually do like both. Believe it or not.
I like both. And speaking of chowder, I don't know what you were going to tell, but yesterday, poker celebration. I went back-to-back lunches yesterday. I know that's hard to believe that, but I went from eating.
I like that you're back to eating, 2 meals at a shot. That you go straight from one lunch to another lunch.
I went from Even Keel Fish Shack, where we had a great
that was great
yesterday.
Wow. That was
with
terrific.
Brad hooking us up with those good new dishes, the scallops and the Brussels sprouts were fantastic. But then Danny, my poker buddy, he was hosting a celebration. It's a tradition that whoever has a big score takes everybody in the group out for lunch. He chose Southport Raw Bar yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And Southport, we love Buddy, and one of our former sponsors. And these guys, like 3 of the 5 people in the group had never been there. We had this onslaught of all these like raw oysters and clams and the Clams Casino and Oysters Rockefeller. And
I hope you took your gout pill there when you went.
Yeah, I doubled down on the
Your
allopurinol.
jaw must be the size of a bowling ball today.
No, it's okay now. But
all right.
Everybody loved it. But they have a New England clam chowder and a kind of red conch chowder, and they put them both in one bowl, and they have like this separator, so it comes out where it's like 2 distinct sides, like the yin and yang symbol,
Yeah.
and then you could mix it up if you want or eat them separately. I had that soup yesterday. It was fantastic. It's great. That was
Mustang brought me home from Anthony's Clam House, Commercial Boulevard there, and our good friend Walter, a clam chowder. And I have to say, I like it loaded with stuff. I don't like when you gotta get a search warrant to find a piece of clam, and it was fabulous. I really really enjoyed it.
Good.
And that was heating it up later in a microwave, not even eating it when it was fresh.
Very
So it
nice.
was
All right,
fantastic.
everybody's happy with their food and their lunches, and I'm happy with my M&Ms. Lubie is not happy with his internet, but tomorrow it's okay. We'll be out on the road, so we'll hopefully.
Come on
have a
now, where are we
better
going
experience.
now? The fountains is that
Pepe.
it? Mike
It's
Mayo?
it's above the fountains. It's
Above the
north of
fountains.
Broward Boulevard. It's this new complex called Plantation Walk. It's near that Sheridan. It used to be the Plantation Fashion Mall, and it's north of Broward Boulevard,
All right.
just west of University Drive there. So come
West of
on
University
out to
Drive.
Pizzeria. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the map.
All right,
the
that
GPS.
doesn't help me. You know.
All right, we gotta go. We're
Magellan.
way time, and but come out tomorrow. Go to opentable.com. Look for it. You can still get a spot and have free meal on Pepe's while we're doing the show. It's gonna be fun.
I like the way
we'll
the
see
music
them,
is coming through too.
Yeah, that's the only thing we see. It feels kind of
Sounds like a ransom note here, an
Halloween-
audio ransom note.
It's a Halloween horror movie.
Let's get out of here, man.
Somebody's home. All right, we're out of here. Enjoy every sandwich.